It looks like in this problem we have a trigonometric substitution of this form with a equals 1, and instead of x we're going to use 6x minus 4. So our substitution is going to be 6x minus 4 equals tangent theta. If we take a derivative of both sides of this, we get 6 dx equals secant squared theta d theta. If we want to get dx by itself, we just divide by 6. Now let's rewrite this integral. We're going to replace 6x minus 4 with tangent theta, and we're going to replace dx with 1/6 secant squared d theta. We can simplify this just a little bit, and as is typical with these trig sub problems, we are going to use a Pythagorean identity. In this case, we can remember that 1 plus tangent squared theta is secant squared theta, and as typically happens, this is going to cancel our radical, and as always, technically we have an absolute value of secant, and for the same arguments we've made in the previous videos, we're just going to assume that secant theta is positive. We can then cancel a secant in the denominator with a secant in the numerator, and we get 1/6 times the integral of secant theta d theta. In a previous video, we talked about a u substitution that we can make to do this integral. I'll refer you to that previous video, but this integral ends up being the natural log of secant theta plus tangent theta. Now that's a really great answer, but it has thetas in it instead of x's, so to get rid of those thetas, we need to look back at our original substitution. Tangent of theta is by itself, so we can draw ourselves a reference triangle. If we put that angle theta down here, then we know that the tangent of this angle has to be 6x minus 4. So we can put a 6x minus 4 here and a 1 here. And using the Pythagorean theorem, this side up here is going to be the familiar 1 plus the quantity 6x minus 4 squared. Now we can use this triangle to determine what secant of theta is in terms of x. Secant of theta is 1 over the cosine of theta, so that's going to be the hypotenuse divided by the adjacent side. So secant theta is going to be the square root of 1 plus the quantity 6x minus 4 squared. Tangent theta we already know is 6x minus 4. That was our original substitution. I'm going to tack a plus c on there and box that up. That looks like a pretty good answer. I'll scroll out so that you can see the whole thing, and I think we should take a look at the next video.